spoiler free. I did get a little teary-eyed. I read one chapter, that was enough. And romance and suspense trapped into one book. Chef's kiss, like, this is the tea. If you love drama, Love You Always is it. I can't with the book. Good morning, chapter bestie. I am back with another video. I have been putting this video off for the longest time because it involves me dipping into a genre that I don't like. I don't like fantasy, but we are going to be reading our first fantasy book called The 10,000 Doors of January. Now, I got this book from my local bookstore. It is not a popular fantasy book like Fourth Wing or Powerless or Reckless or Ignite Me or any of those, which I probably should have started with a popular book or something that has like a higher rating, but I will go on Goodreads and check this out and see what the rating is just to make sure. I am a little bit nervous to read this, obviously not just because I don't read fantasy at all. The last fantasy book I read was The Hunger Games years ago, and I don't even know if you can consider that like fantasy. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm nervous about reading this book also because I have not been in a reading slump in like 2 years, and I feel like when you read genres that are not really like your cup of tea, it's easier to fall into a reading slump. So what I decided to do was read a romance at the same time I'm reading this on my Kindle though. I'll probably just read this at night just so I can like stay in the habit and then read this during the day, obviously for purposes of at nighttime I don't have to use my little night lamp or whatever like that. But I'm really excited to get this vlog started. Nervous but excited. So I realize I have not given you guys updates on my health as far as my back. I had my shot on October 23rd and it's November 7th, I think it is today, and it's still hurting. I'm hoping, they did tell me that I will need a couple of shots probably, so I'm hoping that maybe a second one in a few months will work so I don't have to even entertain the idea of surgery. I'm still in physical therapy and that is going pretty good. I'm getting ready to purchase some like cuff weights on Amazon so I can start doing some of my favorite exercises in physical therapy at home. Some of the ones I do now aren't really like my favorites, but there's some standing up that she has me do that are like I absolutely love. I just got done posting a video for tomorrow to go up. It's just like a regular day in the life video. I love doing those, seeing how much I read with all the other activities that I have to get done and all that stuff. So I'm really putting off starting this fantasy, but we're really gonna start it for real. Okay, so I thought maybe it was just like my sugar was low. That's why I was hating the book. So me and my husband, we went and got some wings, ate a little bit, and I can't with the book. I can't, like, I'm not a fantasy girl. I'm not going to try to force it just for a video. Like I can't do it. I tried. I really tried. So we're gonna turn this vlog into something else. But before I pick out my new book, I just want to say, like, if you're a booktuber out there, or you're on BookTok or Bookstagram, whatever you're doing, like, even if you're like a regular blogger, like, don't feel so forced. Like, a lot of booktubers, we have these things where we do 24-hour readathon, swapping phone time for screen time. Like, those are like normal booktube thingies. But when you're getting into something like reading fantasy for a week and you're not really a fantasy person, like, don't feel like you have to force yourself to do something for a video. And that's the stage I'm at now. Like, I'm too grown to be forcing myself for just views, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I read 1 chapter. That was enough. I don't even know if I'm going to count this as a DNF, because I mean, maybe I should write it down. It was only 1 chapter, but no. So we're gonna go pick out another book. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my husband, should I do romance or should I do suspense? And he'll let me know. Come on, let's go ask him. Let's go ask him.
Suspense.
So my husband says suspense, as you heard. So I'm gonna give him some ideas from my Kindle. Don't look. And then we're gonna go to the Kindle and see what the Kindle says.
You gotta love a reader.
Okay. What did you just say to the boy?
I said you gotta love a reader.
Okay. Oh, you love me?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It ain't sweet. Alright. So, we can do Sherry Lapina, Everyone Here Is Lying. We can do Too Late by Colleen Hoover. Or, I have a few on here.
I already have my mind made up.
What?
Too Late by Colleen. I judge books by a cover.
You judge books by the cover? Well, he spoke. And we shall abide. Okay, so I am 50 pages in Too Late by Colleen Hoover, and we are introduced to Sloane, who is the female main character, Carter, and Asa. And Asa, he is a drug kingpin on campus pretty much, and he's dating the female main character, Sloane, who is kind of just needs him. Like, she's dating him not because she's a drug dealer herself. She needs him. She's in a bind and she kind of needs him. And so Carter, he is the undercover DEA agent who is trying to bust him. So those are the 3 main characters that we're dealing with, that will be from what I can see in the book, that will be going back and forth and understanding their perspective. But one thing that I will say about Colleen Hoover's books are they're very fast paced. They're very easy to follow. Like, I really like her style of just I really like her style of like keeping you entertained. And I feel like this is one of those books that I could easily read within a day or so. Sometimes I'll try like to, I think I told you guys this last week, but sometimes a book can be so good that you don't want it to end, so you kind of want to slow it down. But then there's sometimes a book is so good like you can't slow it down, you just want more and more and more. And I feel like this is going to be one of those books. It seems like Asa may be kind of developing a little, I mean not Asa, Sloane may be developing a little crush on Carter and vice versa. So I don't know how that's going to play out. And now, mind you, all this is on the back of the book, so I'm not spilling any tea or, you know, this is spoiler free. So I'm not spilling any tea that's not out there. I would never say like what actually happens in the book, but those are the main characters right now. I'm so sad that this vlog turned in from fantasy to like a regular few days reading in my life or read with me kind of vlog, because I really wanted to do the fantasy thing, but I just, and it's no offense to the author's writing or anything like that, but it's just not something that I'm interested in, and I'm not going to force myself to be interested in it. But this is my speed. Romance, suspense, and romance and suspense trapped into one book. Chef's kiss. Like, that's where I'm at. But yeah, I will say that I love how she just like gets you involved in the book. So we'll see what we get into. I'll probably update like every 50 pages of what's happening, my thoughts on things, and all of that good stuff. I just got to the 100-page mark, and I am totally invested in this. Too late. I need to look at the reviews on Goodreads to see what the people are saying, because this is too good. I really could be a lot farther along than I am, but sometimes I stop and like watch booktube videos and stuff like that. I definitely need to put this in my journal when I started it, so I can, you know, keep track of that and stuff. This is book number, is it 90 or 91 for the year? I am so close. I think I'm gonna make 100 books by the end of November. That would be awesome if I made 100 books by the end of November, because that means I'll be well past 105 for the end of the year. Why is it so loud? Every time I want to get on the camera, it gets loud outside for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, if you have not read this, you need to go read it today, like right now. And I told you guys in like my very first video how cheesy and corny I am. So when somebody else says something is like corny or cheesy, like to me it's like, you know, like I get so excited about it. But I may go outside tomorrow and read a little bit. I don't know. I'm not really an outdoorsy type of person unless I'm running, which I don't run anymore, obviously, because of my back. But I'm excited to get through this book. I hope I can get like halfway through by the end of the night. At the rate I'm going, I probably will get very close to, like, I can see me getting up to 200 pages. I'm reading on page 104, but I think like 100, like chapter 20 is like a trigger warning for sexual assault. So that's something to think about when you are reading books, to just make sure, like, if you're triggered by like child abuse, sexual assault, infidelity, like any triggers that you have that can set you off, like I would always look in the front of the book to make sure, because it does give you a warning in front of this book, but just always check books so you don't like trigger yourself and put yourself in a state of depression because you're reading something that is like gruesome to you or that really kind of bothers you. I think that's something that we take for granted as readers. Like the same way we would not watch a movie because of X, Y, and Z reasons is the same way we should decide, like, I don't want to read a book because it has something in there that's going to trigger some kind of emotion or put me in a state of depression. So just my little 2 cents on that. I just, well, not just finished, but I finished Too Late by Colleen Hoover this morning. I read up to like 248 pages last night. I could not put the book down like at all. So I read like 248 pages, and this morning I woke up, read my scripture first, and then I finished the rest of Too Late. It was so good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think it has like a 4-star rating on Goodreads, which I think is very fair. I don't know what the deal is with people in Colleen Hoover. Like, I don't know why she aggravates people's spirits so much. I have now read 3 of her books. Reminders of Him was my very first Colleen Hoover book. I read Verity, I read Too Late, and I have It Ends With Us for another video, but I haven't read that one yet. But I've only read 3, and I like the 3 that I read. Like, they're very easy to follow. They like get you going. Like, she's the author you would read if you're trying to get introduced into books. Like, if you want to start being a reader, like, she is the direction you would go. And I don't know if her writing is like too plain for people, but I get through her books so quickly. Like, all the books that I read of hers, I read within 24 hours. Like, I started at night and the next day I was done. And I don't know what the issue is. Like, somebody fill me in on the Colleen Hoover hate. But anyway, we have a lot to get done today. I have to film 2 videos, a book review and then a series review that I just finished up for Mia Sheridan. Then we are going to go to the cafe. We're gonna do a little bit of editing, get some, you know, just vibe out, chill. I am starting a new book on my Kindle today. It is Love You Always by Lacey. I've heard really good things about that, and so far for the month of November, my books have been, I haven't had a good month like this since February. Like, where every book is just a banger. Like, I love every book. And even February, there was one book that I was kind of, the ending saved it. But this, listen, it's only November 8th or 9th or something like that. So we need to, like, keep this up. I have a long way to go to November. I don't want to mess it up. So, yeah, a lot to do today. So stick around with your girl. I just finished filming one of my videos. I'm gonna take a little break and then I'm gonna film the other one. Hopefully it only takes about 20 minutes or so to get through it, because it's almost 2 o'clock and I really want to get to the cafe. I really want to go to Barnes because I want to get another bookmark. I'm trying to debate whether I want to read 2 books at once, like one physical copy and then one on my Kindle at night. I don't know, like, I'm not a 2-book person, but you don't know unless you try it. So I don't know though. I just don't know. I feel like I have a feeling this Love You Always by Lacey is going to be so good that I'm not even going to want to read another book. But I don't know. We'll see what I do. Probably gonna stick to 1 book, but yeah. So I got my camera out. I'm ready to finish filming up the series for When Love Meets Destiny by Mia Sheridan. It's the series with Archer's voice in it. That's a popular book, so I know y'all know what that is. That series was amazing, so I can't wait to share my thoughts on it. We're about to leave the cafe. My husband went to get us some sushi real quick, but oh my gosh, so I'm already obsessed with Love You Lacey. One of the things that I love to see in books, one of the things that I loved is her and her best friend Parker, the female main character, and her best friend, I think her name is Marissa or something like that, Marisa or something like that. They started a practice together where Parker is a pediatrician and the best friend is a psychologist, but they're doing it for children. And I was like, oh my gosh, I ate that up. Like, I love to see that. I love to see best friends doing stuff like that, and it made me literally want to call my best friend and be like, let's start a business together. Let's do something that we can like do together. But another thing that I loved in the first chapter, and this all happened in the first chapter, her and her sister built their parents their dream home. What? Their dream home, like a lot of kids do not do stuff like that for their parents anymore, and I think it's so sad that they don't. But you know, everybody can't afford to do that, so that's that too. But I love seeing that. I love how they talked about adoption. I'm not going to share like who's adopted and what they actually talked about with adoption, but I love representation because so many women adopt because of medical issues and you know, uteral issues and stuff like that. So I think it's important to include topics like that in books, and they did touch on it a little bit just within the first chapter, so I loved that too. One of the things also, I wrote this down, Jackson said he so Jackson obviously is the male main character, and he says in the book he wanted to introduce the best version of himself. So it's kind of like they were together and then they broke up and they kind of dilly-dallied, you know, danced with each other, and now they're broken up. And so he's like, I love you, I've always loved you, it's always going to be us, love you always hits the title. And she he says, I want to introduce you to the best version of myself. And that made me think, like, some people, when they're in a relationship with somebody, they get like a terrible version of this person, and then when you break up with the person, they get into a new relationship and they're like this new person. And sometimes you won't always get the best version of somebody. Like, that best version is meant for somebody else. So obviously we know how the book is going to end. Well, we don't know, but I can guess that they're going to end up together at some point. But I love how she's going to get that best version of him. And I don't know, maybe I'm speaking too soon, I don't know, but I just in general, like, it's rare that you see that. So I love to see it. I love the childhood friendship, obviously for personal reasons, but yeah, I'm really excited to finish this book. I only made it to, because I was like editing and doing a lot of other different things in there, but I only made it through the first chapter. So I'm excited to you know, get through the book and see how much I like it. I already know I'm gonna love it, so I'm not even worried. Hey guys, excuse the hair and everything that's going on right now, but I am about 50-something% into Love You Always by Lacey. And it's Saturday and I literally have been sleeping in all day. Like, I'm still in my pajamas. It's ridiculous. But I have been reading Love You Always by Lacey, and this book is really heavy. Very heavy. It's on Kindle Unlimited, by the way, and it's a lot of triggers. I don't know what's been up with the books that I've been reading lately with the triggers and whatnot, but this book has cancer, miscarriage, like, it's a lot. And I'm not towards the end, so the book goes through like flashback periods to Jackson and Parker when they were younger in college and after college, and some tragedy happened. Their relationship is kind of like considered toxic to the people around them, but my battery is about to die. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So their relationship is kind of considered toxic, and the book does like flashbacks, so you can understand why Parker is extremely apprehensive on giving Jackson a second chance, or a third or fourth or fifth chance at this point. He put her through a lot. I will say that there is no infidelity, so if you're triggered by infidelity, there's no infidelity. I was surprised that in all he did, that he did not cheat on her, but she Parker is super duper strong. Like, I'm at a point now where I see exactly how strong she is, and I love the flashbacks, like I said, to understand why she is thinking the way that she's thinking. Because at first I'm like, dang, she's being like an a-hole. Like, why doesn't she just, you know, everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, depending on what you did, but you know, like, she was just being kind of, it was like aggressive a little bit in the beginning. I didn't think I would like her character, but oh my gosh, she is like really strong. So it's a bum day. That's okay. It's Saturday, it's the weekend. We do what we want on the weekends. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing all day. I think I'm at like, let's see what percentage I'm at. I'm reading on the Kindle, by the way. Kindle Unlimited has some really good reads for those who aren't aware or are sleeping on Kindle Unlimited. It's totally worth the $11.99 or $10.99, however much it is. I am 56% in, and I am on page 230 out of 407. I just started it last night, or yesterday, as y'all saw. But yeah, this is I can't wait to finish the series. I'm definitely gonna I don't know if I'm gonna finish the series this year because I have a lot of TBRs on my Kindle. I download a bunch of books at one time, and then, you know, as I mood rig it, I go through them. But I really want to get through the books on my Kindle because some of them are new releases and from series. So yeah, I just this book is everything. I've been hitting it this November. I know I've been saying that a lot in this video, but this November has been amazing. I hope I keep it up. One of the characters is in therapy, and the therapist says over time trauma can transform into a testimony, and if you want, only if you want to, you can choose to turn that testimony into purpose. And I think this is such, oh my gosh, this is so good, because a lot of people don't realize the things that you go through, your trials and tribulations, they're not for you, they're for other people, for you to strengthen the person next to you. Like, we don't go through things just to go through them. They're to strengthen and edify the people around us and make sure that we're like putting back in the world everything. Like, here's the thing, you don't have to tell all your business and all the tea, but strengthen somebody through your trials and tribulations. And that's what I've always done, like getting married at 18. That's why I started being a relationship coach, just to like let people know like there's struggles in your marriage, there's struggles in relationships, but you can get through it with love, with compassion, with respect for one another, studying one another, like all the things. And I think it's so, I think that's one of the best quotes that can be written is that. I love that. This book is like really quotey. Yeah, quotey. It has so many good quotes in it, and so many things you can meditate and think on. And I love that when I read, when I can just get all the feels from it. I'm curious, do you guys like longer or shorter chapters? Because the chapters in this book are so long. I think one was like an hour, and I'm on another one that's like an hour too. And I just like shorter chapters because I like to, if I have to stop and do something, like I hate stopping in the middle of a chapter. And I don't know, do you like long or short chapters? I feel like short is more popular than longer chapters, but it seems like you get through the book faster when they're longer. I don't know, but yeah, I just don't like it. And oh, this is the thing, this is the tea. If you love drama, Love You Always is it. Oh my gosh, it's like a real life, no, not real life because it's fictional. It's like a soap opera. It's given Young and the Restless, it's given Days of Our Life, it's given My Favorite, Guiding Light. Like, it's given all of that, because these, I mean, drama filled, okay? I do have a thought on something about toxicity that I'm going to share towards the end of the book, because I want to see how it ends. I mean, sometimes we can assume that two people are going to end up together, but it might not always be the case, so I don't want to get like high hopes from it. But I am going to share my thoughts on toxicity and red flags in relationships towards the end of this video, because I have a lot to say about that. But we're gonna finish the book. And yeah, I've been playing my game in between. Listen, I am an older millennial, 80s baby, and I play Mario because it's nostalgic. So every now and then, if I stop reading, I'll like play the game, and then I'll throw the game because I'll get mad because I can't beat Bowser like I once could. But yeah, so we're gonna finish reading. It's such a beautiful Saturday. My husband's birthday is tomorrow. He turns 40, which is exciting. His last day in his 30s. Yes, I'm excited. Just excited to celebrate him. I think it is so important to heal before you get into another relationship, because what I'm seeing in this book is when you don't heal before you get into a new relationship, like those residual feelings just transfer over, and you either take it out on the person or you're not over the person, and it's just not fair to the other person that you're in a relationship with that like really likes you, that's really in love with you, but you're still hung up on your ex. So message to all, heal yourself before you go and search for somebody else. OMG, I just finished Love You Always by Lacey. It is a really good book. The plot, I like the ending, the happy ending. Parker was definitely my favorite character because she was so strong. I did get a little teary-eyed because towards the end, there's a death, and the person kind of pops up in the end, and it just kind of melted my heart. But it's late, it's like 11 something at night. I think I'm going to pick another book, or maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but the next book that I read, I'll update you, and then I'll probably end this vlog after I finish that book, because it's time to move on to another type of vlog at this point. I don't know, this has just been like a few days in my life reading, and yeah, I think we have read like 3 books or something like that. Yeah, definitely 4-star read. I highly recommend. I can't wait to finish the series. Next is Avery and Deacon's story, and Avery is a firecracker. She's Parker's sister. She was definitely a firecracker in Love You Always, so I'm curious to see how she is in her own relationships and how she acts with the Deacon. So yeah, I decided to start Somebody's Wife by Renee. I don't know how I'm gonna like it because I think it's like infidelity in here. I don't really know if I like that trope, so we'll see. But yeah, after this book, we're gonna wrap this video up because it has now been, I think, I'm trying to figure out what book I started this video on. I don't know, but 3 books is good. Few reading days in my life, I've already said that, so I'm gonna just start reading tonight. It's like, no, I think I'm gonna read a chapter and then watch a booktube for the rest of the night because it's like 11:30. My husband's birthday is in 30 minutes. The big 4. Oh, what? Can't believe we're getting old. This is a disaster. Okay, so I just finished Somebody's Wife by, is it Robbi? Renee? I did not vlog it, all of it, because it was so, today was my husband's birthday, so I was trying to, like, you know, cater to him a little bit. But the book was really, really good. I did finish it today, and it follows Gemma and Zeke. And Gemma is basically, she got married really young. Something happened. She met her husband when they were in college. They got married young, and 20 years later, you know, he is different, and she finds out why he's different. So she's going through a period of trying to find herself, and you know, a story of betrayal. There is infidelity involved in it, so if that triggers you, this probably is not the book for you. But yeah, so she meets Zeke, who is she's a professor, not a professor, she works in Dean of Affairs or something like that, and she meets him because she's interviewing him for a job at the same university that she's at. So he falls extremely hard for her. Like, I mean, he falls bad. And Gemma, she kind of got on my nerves a little bit because she was I felt like she kind of led him on a lot. Like, he showed so much care and reverence for her, and she kind of just like played in his space sometimes. Like, she got on my nerves a little bit. Like, she was kind of annoying, but I understand why she was like that, because she had went through something very traumatic. So, you know, she was kind of apprehensive to like go all in with him, but she still was super duper annoying. But yeah, Zeke was definitely book boyfriend material. Like, he definitely like cared for her and was patient with her. Like, that's when you know you found your person. It's like, because they are like putting up with stuff that nobody else would put up with. So yeah, I did finish that. I did rate it a 5-star. There is a second book to it, Somebody's Forever, and it picks up, from my understanding, on their story and her navigating you know, her divorce and everything that she's going through, and you know how the family is impacted, and just like her career, what it's gonna look like, dating somebody that she works with. So I think that's what that I think that's what that book is, kind of, Somebody's Forever. But I would love to see a book from the author on the best friends and his brother and cousin. That would be awesome to see, definitely. So if you're out there, if you see this video, perhaps please grant us a little series, because I would love to see Myron and Ezra, and I don't know what the other girl's name, Curon, I don't know how to pronounce that name, and I forget the other best friend's name, Maxine. So I would love to see them. But anyway, we're going to end this vlog. We read like 3 or 4 books in this vlog. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up and start something fresh and new tomorrow on Monday. So I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. If you read any of these books, let me know your feelings on the books. How did you like them? And if you will read any of these books, highly recommend everything that I read. I'm not one of those picky readers. Like, a book has to be really, really bad for me to be like, nope. And I have had, I think, 2 of them this year where I'm like, nah, B, nah. I know this started out as a fantasy, but I'm not going to, I read for enjoyment. I'm not going to try to suffer through things just for a video. And so yeah, this turned into just a regular reading vlog, a few days in my life. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you stick around, subscribe for more content. We will be doing Bookmas every day, prayerfully. So guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a blessed day.